right now. All right, let's get to another ranked matchup that we had on Saturday with number 13 Notre Dame beating number 20 USC 34-24. Let's go over the highest graded players, starting off with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Highest graded player was defensive tackle Jason Onye with a 90.2 grade. Jeremiah Love with a career day 85.4 grade for one of the best running backs in the country. Adon Schuler with a 82.4 grade, Drake Bowen 80.6, Jared Dawson, the D tackle 78.4, and CJ Carr with a okay 57.2 grade. Really could rely on, though, the running backs for him in this game with Jeremiah Love and, of course, Jarian Price, too, in that one. USC, with their highest grade players, was cornerback DeCarlos Nicholson, 78.4. Tanuke Hines, the wide receiver, 71.2. Christian Pierce, the safety, 69.6. Braylon Shelby, the edge rusher, 68.7. True freshman D tackle Jakeem Stewart, 66.5. And Jaden Maiava with a 64.7 grade. For any Notre Dame fans wondering, Jadarian Price's kickoff return touchdown does not count into his overall offensive grade, right?
Yeah, that'll be separate. Yeah.
So that's why. So that's his. Jadarian Price's offensive grade wasn't enough to be in the top 5. If he had the kick return touchdown in there too, he probably would have been in the top 5.
Yeah. It's just that the special teams stuff, the kick return stuff, goes into a separate category there. But no, I mean, obviously,
I'm so used to the comments already, Dalton. I know what people will be commenting, so that's why I wanted to shout that out right there.
No, absolutely. And actually, that's right where I'm going to start, is with that play, which honestly we may look back on if and when Notre Dame is a part of that playoff selection process there. If they're in the top 12, we may look at that Jadarian Price kick return as their biggest play of the season. And I'll tell you why. Look, just before that, Jacoby Lane with a big touchdown to give USC a 24-21 lead. Price returns that kick, and albeit with the missed extra point, 27-24, Notre Dame in the rain with now the home crowd riled up again, and they have all the momentum again. And we've seen it twice now. Even if you're going to go and beat Notre Dame with as much talent as they have, especially in Notre Dame, Miami did it in Miami, but it took all 60 minutes. A&M did it at Notre Dame, I should say. It took them all 60 minutes. You have to play the full 60 minutes if you're going to beat this Notre Dame team. And that Jadarian Price kick return felt like it just flipped, even though it was only a 3-point game, like it just flipped the final switch. Here's USC's last 4 drives, okay? Christian Gray, interception. The Mekhi Lemon fumble on what looked like it was going to be a trick play, turnover on downs, and then a Luke Talich interception to finish it off. 2 picks, a turnover on downs, and a fumble. 22 plays USC ran in the last 4 drives. 85 yards, 51 offense grade. Notre Dame had an 85 defense grade. It just, that, again, kind of like I talked about with the Zabian Brown pick 6 in the Alabama game, that Jadarian Price kick return. When USC, for almost 3 quarters, didn't seem rattled, that seemed to rattle them.
Yeah.
It did.
Did you see the video of like Jaden Maiava on the sideline after it? They were pissed. It's
exactly.
like, dude, that just deflates after a great touchdown drive to take the lead, and one play immediately Notre Dame takes the lead. It's like, dude, we can't catch a break right now. And
you could feel it, and then you get on these guys get on the field, and you almost feel like there's this pressure of like, we just did all this work to get a lead against this team in the rain, in an environment where that favors Notre Dame in the run game. You're going to work on that in a second. Certain times you just get one huge heroic game-changing play. It's Jadarian Price breaking a couple of tackles and housing a kick return. And look, Notre Dame still had to go out there and play great defense, but I think the exact reason that, to me, you and I both picked Notre Dame to win this game was we trust their defense a little bit more. That in just a few big moments, and that ended up being the last 4 drives, that they were more likely to make stops than USC was. That was exactly the case here, and all 3 phases matter. The kick return. It reminded me almost of the the Jaden Harrison kick return against Georgia in the playoff game last year, where that really was actually the biggest play of the game, along the strip sack right before the half. But the Jaden Harrison kick return after half in that game really kind of was like, okay, this is now Notre Dame's game to lose right here. Same thing in this one. When he did that, you could feel USC was like, why? Like, now it's special teams. We're already dealing with Jeremiah Love. It's hard enough to cover all these guys and CJ Carr throwing the ball. And now they return. Now they house the kickoff, and they got this stadium right back in it. That feels like a big inflection point for not just this game, but Notre Dame's. That will be the biggest play of Notre Dame's season if they make the playoff.
It's an emotional roller coaster because the sideline from the USC was going crazy after the touchdown, after taking the lead, and then one play, immediately you're down again. And it's just like, it's so deflating on the sideline to just be like, we can't catch a break right now. So, yeah, well, that was a huge, huge play by Jadarian Price. Talk about him later on, too. But Notre Dame, actually right now, Notre Dame 7.3 yards per carry in this game. An incredible effort by the Notre Dame rushing attack to run all over the Trojans in this one. 315 total rushing yards for the Fighting Irish, 2.9 yards before contact per attempt. Notre Dame was averaging almost 3 yards per carry before contact against USC, with 4.4 yards after contact per carry. Mentioned before, Jeremiah Love, career high 228 rushing yards, with 107 coming after contact and a touchdown. Jadarian Price, 87 yards and a touchdown, also the kickoff return touchdown too. They have the best backfield in college football with Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, and combine that with an offensive line that was moving people in the run game like they were last night, and you get results like that with over 300 total rushing yards.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jeremiah Love, my most impressive, those two Notre Dame running backs. I mean, you're talking about one in Jeremiah Love, who led all players this week with 228 rushing yards. And tell you what, if we've been giving it to Ahmad Hardy, we gave it to Ahmad Hardy in the midseason awards, but Love all of a sudden maybe starting to get hot towards that Doak Walker that we predicted in preseason to win, right? I mean, you've got some really good candidates. LJ Martin from BYU's been outstanding as well. But Love with the 228 yards, Jadarian Price, A, with the kick return, and B, with 13 carries for 87 yards, darn near 7 yards a carry. I mean, that'll do it any day of the week. I just think, and in this game where CJ Carr at times did look shaky, and the red zone interception rolling out and just trying to make something out of nothing, that was probably, I think, the worst play I've seen him make all year. Yeah. And for Notre Dame to just go, you know what? Let's get back to Notre Dame football and just run it right down the pipe and see if they can stop us. And USC just couldn't do it. And I think that's really, again, the biggest thing for USC is you can't ask your offense to be perfect every week. And for the last 4 weeks now, their defense has just not been great. And you figure they wouldn't be great in this game against a Notre Dame offense that's firing on all cylinders. But if USC is going to get hot down the stretch here and try to keep themselves in a Big Ten or in a playoff mix, they got to make stops in big moments. And they couldn't get enough stops in this game, and Notre Dame did in the latter parts of this game.
So Notre Dame defensively had 3 guys with over an 80 PFF grade, including Jason Anya, mentioned before, with a 90.2 grade. He obviously was great. I want to shout out a guy who had a 68.6 grade, though, and I want to provide context to why I'm shouting him out. That is Leonard Moore, the cornerback from Notre Dame. Again, his grade won't jump off the page at 68.6, but you got to give him his flowers for what he did in this game, what he was asked to do in this game. Because Leonard Moore, who is one of, if not the best, I would say right now, the best cover corner that we have in college football. He was my number 1 corner in the country going into the year. He's only a true sophomore right now. He was outstanding as a true freshman last year. He usually plays only on the outside in this game. But Marcus Freeman, going into the week, went up to him and said, hey, we need you to play in the slot because USC right now has the best receiver in the country. Our midseason award for the Blitnikoff Award went to Mekhi Lemon. He's the best receiver in college football. He wins from the slot. Notre Dame, Devontae Smith, their corner, is injured right now, their slot corner. So their slot coverage has been really bad this year. Marcus Freeman went to Leonard Moore and said, we need you to play in the slot against Mekhi Lemon. So you're playing out of position against the best receiver in the country in Mekhi Lemon. That should favor Mekhi Lemon. It did not in this game because Leonard Moore locked him up against Mekhi Lemon when he was guarding him. Only 2 catches on 3 targets for 28 yards. Mekhi Lemon only had a 57.6 receiving grade when guarded by Leonard Moore in this game. Again, he was out of position against Mekhi Lemon, who's going to be a top 15 pick probably in the NFL draft and still probably could win the Blitnikoff Award this year. What Leonard Moore did as a true sophomore, playing in the slot like that, when he's never really played in the slot before, is incredible, man. This guy is an absolute superstar, and I would say right now, I would almost lock him in to being a top 10 pick in next year's draft, which is crazy to say considering how many unreal players we have already in next year's draft. But what that guy is doing right now, Dalton, I mean, he is like on Derek Stingley Jr. levels of college play right now. Leonard Moore is an absolute star for that Notre Dame secondary.
Yeah, Lemon got him once for a 27-yard catch. That's going to happen. And he committed a penalty one other time. That's going to happen with the man-to-man coverage. It seemed like Notre Dame's best tool, and we saw this so much last year, was an obvious pass. They're going to get in man-to-man, and because they had to change. Mekhi Lemon is the type of player that makes you change the structure of your defense.
Yes.
I mean, to me, it's only more proof that he's a top 20 pick, right? Where it's like Notre Dame had to change their entire defensive structure to slow down this guy. And they took their chances with Christian Gray on Jacoby Lane and other matchups like that. And Gray made a huge play late in the game when he needed to. But Leonard Moore being able to do that, let's put it like this, 41 snaps in the slot last night. He never had a game before that with more than 10.
Yeah.
He had 75 snaps in the slot in his career coming into this game. And, Marcus Freeman was fun. He was nice enough to hint at it earlier in the week of like, we might have to. We know how good that guy is. But we also know how good Leonard Moore is and just outstanding stuff. That's exactly – I mean, there is to me, I actually don't think there's any question. I don't know that there's another corner in the country that could do that. That could do what he just did. He is on, you mentioned it, that level of corner that can go in the top 10 of the draft next year in 27 amongst a loaded class. No, he is now a weapon. And the fact that he got in the slot and can do that, if Notre Dame wants to go to that in any other week or in the playoff or whenever, feel free.
And it'll get easier against anyone else. Because that's the best slot receiver in the country by a mile.
Absolutely. I mean, and even on the outside, you can get the shadow going. We've seen that before. And Notre Dame in coverage, they might not be quite as all-around good as last year, but they can make you beat them with their number 2 and 3 and 4 because number 1 with number 15 on them, not getting it done.
No, a season-low receiving grade for Mekhi Lemon in that game. Just incredible. And then listen, if Leonard Moore did not do that and he didn't play like that or he didn't even play in the slot at all, I think USC might win this ballgame because I think Mekhi Lemon probably would have had like over 120 yards and touchdown or something like that.
Yeah.
Notre Dame really did struggle in slot coverage that much with Devontae Smith out. Leonard Moore being able to do that for this defense, that might have won in the ballgame. I know Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price got all the love and they deserve that, of course. But Leonard Moore should not be forgotten about because what he did was so massive for that defense.
And it takes a lot of guts because defensive coordinators a lot of times can be some of the most stubborn people on the planet. And Marcus Freeman and Chris Ash having the guts to go, this is our only option, isn't it? It's to do this and to just not let that guy because he took over the Illinois game even though they lost. He feels like he's taken over every single week. He's just unstoppable. This is our only option. This is the only way we get stops on defense. Just outstanding. It takes a lot of guts from the coaching staff to let him do it, but the fact that Leonard Moore, again, as a true sophomore, is good enough to let them do that, unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, I guess the best receiver in the country right now, Mekhi Lemon. Just crazy stuff from Leonard Moore. All right, Notre Dame taking down USC 34-24.